Hello, darling. It's good to see you all again, and thanks for joining for today's video. You're not gonna believe what happened this morning. I still can't believe it. I'm so disappointed. I was driving out this morning and I was going to go do some grocery shopping and go pay some bills and run some errands and that. And then I was going to come back home and get ready, and we're going to put Callie in the van. And I wanted to drive over to visit South Moran and Bundoora, that area around there, make some videos out there. You know, I was planning to do some stealth camping up there and check out this spray camp and all that. And I stay out there for a few days and then come back home. And, you know, thank God that I live right opposite the shopping complex. You know, we've got Woolies, Aldi, we've got a chemist, you know, there's fish and chips, Chinese, the mechanic is just around the corner. I have learned that it is so convenient living right next to or across the road from the shopping complex, you know. So I went to pull into the driveway that takes you into Woolworths shopping car park. And all of a sudden, the lights in my van came on, and it stalled. And as it stalled, I couldn't turn because all of a sudden I had no power steering, and I'm right in the middle of the road as I'm turning. I was turning right, and I'm thinking, oh no, what's happening here? And I thought it was because I was running low on petrol, because I had just a tiny amount of petrol left. Well, I mean diesel, but my van takes diesel. So anyway, I managed to, what I did was I turned the ignition off, I put it into neutral, I turned it back on and it went, so I took off. And so the first thing I did was I went around to the petrol station and I filled my tank up with diesel. So I put $55 into my tank. So I'm thinking, okay, now I'll put over half a tank of petrol, diesel, sorry. So, you know, that's going to solve no problem. So I take off and I thought, okay, I'll just go finish paying the bills and doing the stuff that I need to do. And then we'll go back home and get Callie, and then we'll take off over to Bundoora. And anyway, I get around the corner and oh my God, it happens again. All of a sudden, the lights came on, all the lights on the dashboard came on. And I don't know what happened. This is the first time this has ever done that since I've had my van fixed. And the same thing happened. The van stalled. And I'm right in the middle of the road. And I lost power steering again, and I started freaking out again. I'm thinking, no, there's something wrong. So I did the same thing. I turned the ignition off, put it into neutral, turned it back on, and it went. So I got the van back home, where we are now, and now I I can't drive it until I get it fixed. So I went to see my mechanic this morning, and he said he can't really tell me for sure without looking at it. But what he said, because of what I described to him, he said it sounds like it could be the alternator or the battery or something like that. So this is what I was saying in my other videos, because even though being in my van is my happy place where I feel safe, comfortable and happy, I still need my apartment for when, because there are going to be and there will always be times where things go wrong, such as my van breaking down like now. And the thing is, because if my van breaks down and I've got my apartment to go back to, you see what I mean? I've still got a roof over my head. Whereas if I was to give up my apartment, and if this situation like what happened today happens, then I've got nowhere to go back to. You see what I mean? So I would have to check into a hotel or a cheap motel, and I don't have the money to do that. And this is where I'm really lucky, because I have really cheap rent, and I've only got that because of the family violence services, which I'm really grateful for. Because even though I'm safe in my apartment, I mean there's only me and Kelly, but the thing is, because I'm a recovering domestic violence victim survivor who has anxiety, depression, PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, as well as nightmares. And what happens is that when I'm in my apartment, sooner or later, that awful feeling comes back, where the best way that I can describe it is like a panic attack. Your heart rate starts racing, and the blood pressure goes up. You start sweating, you get that feeling like something bad is about to happen. And that's because of my experiences with domestic violence, unfortunately. Like for example, I'll be sitting in bed and I'll be like, that feeling will come back, and I feel like someone's going to barge into the bedroom, and start threatening me. It's like it's not my ex-husband used to do. And another time I went to have a shower, and all of a sudden I just turned the taps off, walked right into the lounge room, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? There's no one here to hurt me. But that feeling was so overwhelming and so strong, I couldn't fight it, I'm thinking to myself, there's no one, to bash me after I have a shower now, or to come in with a big knife and go whack, whack, whack like an film Psycho while I'm having a shower. But I couldn't do anything until that horrible feeling goes away, because it was so overwhelming and so strong. And this is why I want to spend more time in my van, because when I'm in my van I don't get those feelings. I feel happy and safe, and to be honest with you, I wish I could feel, like that in my apartment like I do in my van, but it doesn't happen, because sooner or later that feeling will always come. It always comes. And I know it's because of the post-traumatic stress disorder. And the nightmares too. You know, I'm sick and tired of the prison nightmares every single night, you know, where I relive my trauma of my marriage all over again. And even though it's been years since I've been divorced and I've been on my own now, it doesn't matter. The nightmares never stop. They never stop. And I've got to go to sleep again tonight, and the nightmares are going to come around again and again and again. I just freaking don't stop. And now my van is breaking down. I mean, I can still camp in my van. I can still boondock in the backyard. You know, there's one thing I can do. But I still need to make the van more comfortable. I've still got to get the air conditioner fixed. I still need to get a good air conditioner in the back here, which I'll worry about that in time when I'm ready. So at the moment, all I can do is wait until I save up the money to fix the van. And then I'm going to have to put the van to be fixed. Thank God my mechanic is just around the corner. It's only a 2-minute walk from my place to get to my mechanic. Thank God for that. And he's a really good mechanic. So that's another good thing. But having thought about what happened today, I'm glad that it happened how it did, because I wouldn't have liked for me to get over to Bundoora or South Moraine and have the van broke down over there. Thank God it was just near home. It made it a lot easier for me. So what my plan is now, so all that means is that my plans have just changed at the moment. So all that means at the moment is that the van is going to sit in the backyard here now while I save up the money to get it fixed. And then when I do that, then I'm going to put it in to get fixed. And then once it gets fixed, then we'll do all the videos that I had planned to do. But isn't it funny how there's always something that goes wrong with the van life all the time? Well, there is with my van life anyway. But I suppose that's part of van life, isn't it? And the thing is, this is why, if you're going to do van life, whether it be part-time, full-time, whatever, this is why it's important that you have an emergency fund for when your van breaks down or for when something goes wrong. And it will happen sooner or later. You just don't know what or when, but guaranteed it will happen. And the thing is, not everyone can afford an emergency fund. And for example, in my case, I'm lucky I still have my apartment, so I can just save up. Simple. But a lot of people do not have an apartment. And their vehicle, whether it be a van, a minivan, a truck, camper, SUV, whatever, is their home. And so if you don't have an emergency fund, for whatever reason, if you can't afford it or whatever, what I suggest you do is you get a credit card. Just one credit card only. No more, just one credit card. And you keep that credit card just for emergencies only. So when something goes wrong, you've got that credit card there to fall back on. See what I mean? Now I don't have a credit card. If I did have a credit card, I would book my van in to be fixed right now, but I don't have a credit card, so therefore I'm just going to have to save up the money and then get it fixed. But that's okay, I can do that. I just means that I have to be patient in the meantime, doesn't it? And hopefully, I'm just hoping that maybe whatever is wrong with my van isn't as bad as what I'm thinking it could be. So, yeah, all I know at the moment is that time will tell. But this is what I'm saying, because there will always be something going wrong with van life, whether it be your van breaking down, or whether it be you get stuck or bogged somewhere, you know, or whether it be your fridge in your bed decides to die, or whatever. You know, so this is why, you know, you should always live within your means and stealth camp to save money if you can, you know, and have an emergency fund or a credit card to use as an emergency fund. You see what I mean? So maybe I should get a credit card, but I don't know. I've never had a credit card. I don't think I will go that way. But if you do have a credit card, make sure you don't use it for anything. Only for emergencies like getting your van fixed and things like that. So, oh sorry, I bumped the table. Yeah, so I thought I should make a video to let you know what's going on and give you an update with my situation. I mean, well, it works out good in a way because there's still a lot of things that I still want to do to the van, like putting up some more decor and fixing up a few things. And then when I receive my inheritance, I need to do a few things like getting the air conditioner fixed, getting a sliding window put in, a high top roof installed, etc. So all that means is that in the meantime, while I'm waiting, while I'm saving up and waiting to get my van fixed, you know, then you know, I can do all the things that I want to do on the van. I can do that in the meantime, which I was still going to do anyway, so nothing there changes. All that it means is that I just have to wait until a little bit longer to make those videos that I had planned, like to visit those towns and that. But that's okay. I'm still going to do that anyway when I get there. It's just a bit of a setback, but nothing major, so who knows, maybe it will turn out to be a blessing in disguise. I don't know, but all I know at the moment is that I need to start saving up. I've already started saving up. And then I'll get the van fixed. And then once I do get the van fixed, at least I will have peace of mind knowing that you know, nothing's not going to break on the van soon because it's already happened and I've got it fixed. You see what I mean? So yeah, so that happened this morning. I mean, after thinking about it for a while, I thought, you know, I'd rather be in this situation at the moment than like be in a car accident and have my van being like totaled and right off for good and having no van at all. You see what I mean? So yeah, maybe it's not as bad as what I think it is. I don't know exactly what it is at the moment because my mechanic hasn't had a look at it. But, excuse me, I said to him when I save up a few $100, then I will take the van around to him. So I'll worry about that then. So I thought I could make a video just to let you know, give you an update with what's happening. And this is what's happening. I mean, I wasn't expecting my van to break down. But at least it broke down right outside of my apartment block instead of miles and miles away. So, oh my God, I'm just happy with how it turned out this morning because it could have been a lot worse and it wasn't. So I thought it was because I did not have any diesel in the van. But then I soon realised that wasn't the case at all. There's something mechanical going wrong with it, the alternator or the battery, I'm not sure. But from what my mechanic said, it sounds like that the alternator is dying. So, I don't know. Okay, 28 minutes, that's long enough. So yeah, so this is just an update video to let you know what's happening at the moment and what my plans are for the near future and what I'm going to do about it. So yeah, so hopefully we will have the van up and running soon. Okay, so thanks for joining me for today's video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so to support me. And don't forget to give my videos a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, please take care, and of course, drive safely. Bye bye, darlings.